Hello. Over the many years I've been practicing law, people come to me with symptoms from a car accident, and a lawyer's job is to recognize when those symptoms could involve something that they haven't even thought about, like a brain injury. My name is Robert Gluck, and I've been a practicing trial lawyer here in Florida for over 32 years. When you're involved in a car accident, sometimes there's trauma to the brain that occurs. Many times, fortunately, these are what we call mild traumatic brain injuries, but sometimes they're more severe than that. You need to be aware of the fact that when you get bounced around in your vehicle, not only does your body get bounced around, but your brain inside of your head also gets bounced around, and it bounces against the skull in your head. Sometimes that causes what's called a contusion, which is simply a bruise. But when you get a bruise on your shin, that's not nearly as significant as when you get a bruise in your brain. So that's something that needs to be paid attention to when you either strike your head or you have enough of an impact that your body gets knocked around inside of a vehicle. So in addition to a contusion, of course, the next level would be a concussion. When people get a concussion, that results in significant symptoms. I wanted to go over some of them with you because when people are in a car accident, they immediately think about neck pain, or they think about back pain, or they think about an injury to a limb or an extremity, their shoulder or their knees or other body parts that might hit something inside the car. But they may not be realizing that if it was a significant enough impact, even if their head did not strike any portion of the vehicle, just the brain being knocked from one side to the other inside the head from the force of the impact could cause these symptoms that we're going to go over, that are either described as a concussion, or a contusion. But either way, they need to be treated seriously, and they need to be treated by a specialist, not somebody that's handling your neck and back pain. So difficulty thinking. So you really want, not just for the person that's injured in an accident, we don't want to ask that question just to them. I like to ask it to their spouse, to their family, because they're the ones that are going to notice these things. Difficulty thinking, slowed thinking or response times, headaches and nausea, concentration difficulty, light or sound sensitivity, coordination or balance difficulty. So the person that's having these effects may not even realize it. And then sometimes, if it was a serious enough accident, I'd go through this list like I'm doing it with you now. And then the spouse or the other family member that's with them might say, wait a minute, yeah, I've noticed those things. Maybe not all of them, but maybe one or two or three of them, maybe enough of them that it might necessitate having that person checked out by a neurologist. Exhaustion, low levels of alertness, difficulty dealing with emotions, seizures, obviously, that's an immediate sign of something wrong. Periods of unconsciousness after the accident, that would be a sign that there could be either a contusion or a concussion going on. Dilated or uneven pupils, and just general confusion. So I'm reading through this list, and if someone's involved in an accident, a lawyer should not just be asking them, do you have neck pain and do you have back pain, and then sending them to an orthopedic specialist to give them therapy for their neck and their back, when in actuality, if it was a significant enough impact, somebody should be going through this list of symptoms with the family members of the person affected, just to make sure that they don't have some sort of a mild traumatic brain injury or a more serious brain injury. The last thing that you want to do is settle a case thinking that your client only has neck or back pain, and then 6 months later you find out that there's some sort of a brain injury going on, and that concussion has led to permanent problems. Because if you settle your case too soon and those things aren't documented and medically discovered and treated, then you lose the opportunity to come back later and make that part of your claim. So make sure that you're very thorough about evaluating all the symptoms, and if any of these symptoms exist, have them addressed by a specialist before you let your lawyer settle your case.